Does life have meaning? This is a question that many of us have asked, whether or not we've actually studied philosophy. Is my life meaningful? The lives of other human beings meaningful? And how do I go about living a meaningful life? The first approach to this question and the beginning of what we call existentialism is really rooted in the work of Soren Kierkegaard. And Kierkegaard said a couple things. Firstly, that the universe is mysterious and our lives are mysterious. And while science tells us that we are largely animals who work with neurochemistry and biology, and that's how everything functions and what we are, he said we're something different from that. Because what science can't explain is how we define ourselves, and how we define ourselves are through making decisions that can't be mapped out. They're the moments in our lives when reason itself can't lay out every pro and con of the situation and can't make the situation clear to us. Should we go left or should we go right? He tells the story of Abraham, who's asked by God to sacrifice his son. Okay, so pro, I obey, and all the consequences, intellectual and emotional of that, and spiritual. And then the flip side, if he doesn't, so he saves his son, etc. There's no clear way for Abraham to make that decision. And for many of our decisions, big decisions, there is no clear way, which is why they require a leap of faith into the unknown. For Kierkegaard, who was a theist, he ultimately believed that many of us find ourselves lost, living perhaps for pleasure, maybe growing into what he calls an ethical stage, and then ultimately perhaps moving to the religious stage where people take a leap of faith into the unknown, and God is an unknown. There's no way to put God on the map, know where he is and understand him perfectly. But it's this quality of our lives, this being willing to embrace the mystery of our lives as we define ourselves, that is central to what life is in terms of meaning.